What's up?
What up? What's the date and time?
On the
Nice.
nose, literally. Good. Got mine.
Nice. Nice.
Oh wait, I can't.
Yeah.
I can never do it right. There we go. Yeah, I got it. Huh.
Uh, okay. Well, Danny and I'll talk until you fix yourself.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Morning,
weird though.
Danny.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been coding. I've been coding a lot this week too. Been busy. I've been working on a couple things. It's been fun. I think this is a good topic too, considering like the way things have been going with all these AI tools. It's like insane. There's so many things that can just make it so efficient now. Like, remember when we started, how long it took, dude, to make like anything?
Well,
I
it's
mean,
it's
granted, we were
shocking because
inexperienced
it just
too, but
doesn't
like,
make sense to learn coding the traditional way anymore.
dude, no, there's no reason. I mean, I can.
So,
Good
good
morning, David,
morning,
Sly,
good morning,
Chris.
good morning, good morning.
I assume they can now. I don't know if he said anything.
I certainly hope so. I think they can. I'm probably clipping out. I feel like I can see my audio now. Give
Okay.
me a something if you guys can hear me. Or maybe you guys ask them, because if they can't hear me,
Oh yeah. Can you guys hear Russell now?
who knows?
No, I'll just assume yes.
We'll just keep going with it. If they can't hear me, they don't need to hear me, I guess.
No, but to your point too, yeah, they
Can
can
now.
now.
All right,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah, like I think
Perfect.
it's crazy because there is no reason to learn coding now because you need to learn, I think, more like we talked about before, like architecture and stuff and design principles and understanding how things connect together
Yeah.
is and understanding how all this stuff works is crucial because I think you can then build incredible things without really so fast now.
Yeah. I think also like you don't even need to know as much as you think you need to know. Like I was thinking as long as you have a general idea of how the internet works and how websites work. Like I was thinking about this the other day. I've
Well,
never
databases and how things connect. Like, that's it. That's all
yeah,
you really need to know.
like I've never really built like a full-on mobile app before, but I'm pretty sure if I tried I could do it like in a
I was
day,
actually thinking about
you
that the
know?
other day. Yeah, because it's like there's no reason not to now with like everything's open now because none of these languages are like blocked. It's not like you have to learn anything again to do it,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is it an echo with everybody or just me?
I don't know.
That's what Sly Analog is saying. Anyway, well, today we have a pretty cool topic that I think is a great one for anybody who's either new in coding or has been around for a while. Just to, some of our own insight as developers who've been in the industry for a while now. And I think Randall, you can speak. Oh, just me, huh? All right, yeah. I guess we'll just have to deal with that. Sorry, guys, but Randall, you can speak a bit about cybersecurity as well, like tips for cybersecurity, whether that's like protecting yourself or I guess maybe hacking if you want to do that too. But yeah, today's topic is top 5 tricks that make it feel like you're cheating as a developer. And I wrote down a couple. I actually have a bonus tip as well. I don't know if you guys have like your top 5, but I mean, I'll get right into some of mine if
Oh, I just figured we each be giving one or two tips, then
I
then
mean,
we're
well,
out of
there's a
five.
bunch I have in mind, so it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like,
it might be
yeah.
top like 30 tips,
Yeah, right, I know.
but I'm
Let's each do one and we'll go from there.
all right. My first one, which I think is probably the most important, is follow your passion and uh like know who you're building for, right? And usually if you can build for yourself, you have a better understanding of like the pain points and the things that your end user is looking for and how they're going to end up using the app. Um, so I think that's a good one, and I think like knowing or following your passion is really important. because a lot of times we forget, even with these modern like AI coding tools, that it can be really tiring to code and like can get exhausting, and you're going to be frustrated at times. And so if you're not passionate about what you're building, or what you're doing, you're just going to end up sort of like, giving up at some point. I think maybe
That's a good
Randall.
one.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that is a good one, and I think I noticed that a lot. Like how, dude, it's amazing how long I can just sit and do this, and like I'm excited still the next day to get up and do it again.
yeah,
Like, like even when I was doing the hackathon, because it was a short amount of time that I had to do that, so I was working every day on it. Like, it was tons of fun. I enjoyed every second of it, and I think that's the crazy part is like finding something like that does make it feel like cheating because you don't feel like you're doing any work. You know, if you're doing something that you really enjoy like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Uh,
a lot of people do the same thing with just career. Like they think about, oh, I just need to get a job first, and then they realize 10 years down the line that the job doesn't align with their actual life they want, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I want
yeah.
more freedom than this. I want to be able to move, to travel. So like people who are coding already have that figured out, but uh, it definitely is helpful to figure out what you're drawn to. Because even, I mean, even if you it's in the beginning you kind of need to mess around with stuff because you don't really know what is what. So people who are like, oh, I like numbers, maybe I'll do Python statistical analysis or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you got to try it out to figure out if you like it or not, and and have the ability to change if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I think a lot of people tend towards Python too in the beginning because they hear that it's like the easiest coding language to learn, and then later on they realize that they don't actually like Python, or because Python is not. This is a huge generalization, but generally speaking, Python is a lot in the terminal and not so much like a visual sort of coding language. I mean, that's again huge generalization, but especially when you're starting, and so people are like,
Well,
"What the heck? I'm not building a website. I'm just like coding in the terminal and understanding how to
even
translate
with
that."
web apps and stuff, you can build with Python, but it's not
Yeah,
as widely used, and so it is more of a niche thing. So I think there is that too. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, like it's more back end centric and stuff. It's good to know because it's good for like, you'll still use it with like cloud functions and stuff in some cases and all, but like yeah, it is. It's not I did notice that early on. Like if you can't visualize, see what you're actually doing, that does make it a lot harder to learn early on.
yeah, totally. You guys have I was actually thinking about that with you too, Randall, with the following your passion, right? Because um, like you've always wanted to do cybersecurity, and I think even when we were in the boot camp, uh, not like you struggled by any means, but like you were just less interested in a lot of the
Yeah.
web development
Yeah.
stuff. And then like when you get into cybersecurity, your passion comes out, and it's like you can just dig into that stuff for hours. Whereas like React and stuff is like meh. It's like
I
I don't know.
remember right when we finished, right? And that was when your focus shifted entirely too. And it was funny because then every Saturday we were meeting, it was like all
Check.
about cybersecurity,
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
which is awesome.
yeah. And I felt really guilty about it too because we were all coding together, and then I'm like, guys, I need to tell you something.
I
I have a secret.
have a secret. I'm kind of in love with cybersecurity. I've been cheating on you on the side.
Just need someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
All right. You guys have another one? I mean, I
Yeah,
have plenty more, but
I have a ton, but I mean, I'll say like I think one of my main ones is like that when you get used to getting used to these new AI tools that exist, and there's a just endless number of them now. I'm thinking like Cursor or like browser ones or whatever, all those. Like it feels like cheating sometimes because if once you get used to them and know how to use them correctly, like your efficiency goes up like I mean so much. I can't I don't even know if I could like really equate how much faster it is now because using these tools and using them well, you can build like what would have taken me, I don't know, months, if not like a year in the past, I can do in like a week,
yeah.
you know? And that's not even coding all the time. That's like a few hours a day. Like it's gotten so much faster. So that really does feel like cheating, I think. But it's learning how to use them well, I think, is part of it now. You have to learn how to use
Yeah.
these tools to the maximum to make it like so that you're efficient, you're getting good results, and getting what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when ChatGPT first came out and started getting good at good. I should say in quotes, but
Well, it
I,
was good at the time. That was like
yeah,
3.5 turbo. It was like the first time where you got like decent results and good
decent
answers for
results.
most things.
Yeah, and I remember like feeling like I was cheating so much, and we had a lot of people in the mentor program who were like, should I use AI? Should I not use AI? And we were sort of back and forth on it too, in terms of like, how to use it correctly. And I think over the past year or so, I've gone full on into like, hey, it's a tool, use the tool, right? It's sort of like that
Oh,
was
hell yeah,
actually,
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was actually like my second one was like learn to code, but then leverage all the tools to your advantage, right? Like
Well, it's like just like you would use a framework instead
it's
of coding a vanilla, right? Because vanilla is
exactly,
outdated. You're going to use a framework because there's a lot of built-in stuff that makes it way easier. You can prototype faster. Well, AI is just a new tool in that
yeah.
sort of group of
And
tools to use.
it's the same thing like using packages, right? Like using npm packages is like you're using somebody else's code, right? That's sort of like
Yeah.
cheating. You're copying off somebody, but if it makes you able to bring something to production faster and it works, that's what coding's about. Like it's an open source community. It's designed to be
Yeah.
that way. And AI is sort of like the next open source, right? But it's very customizable.
You know
Good.
what's crazy? And that thing I was listening to this thing on AI the other day, and they're ChatGPT when they released that 3.5, that was
Hmm.
2022.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
dude, I feel like that was like I was like, there's no way that was only years ago, but it really was.
Yeah.
And it's a to look at how far it's come too. I think the other thing about using these tools is that they're gonna just get better.
Hmm.
And if you don't understand them, you're just gonna be further and further and further behind because they are getting better exponentially. I mean, like the leaps we've seen have been insane. And
Yeah.
now they're like to the point where you can use them as agents perfectly and they're great. Like,
Hi, I'm not gonna say your name
yeah,
because we'll get
cause a
like,
panic.
yeah. Good morning. How are you? Yeah. One other thing. I was gonna. Well, do you guys have any others? Because I got more.
Go ahead. I mean, I
Yeah,
have some,
just
but yeah.
give them.
My next one is learn to read errors and debug efficiently.
Oh
Um,
my gosh, that's
Yeah.
such
I
a big one because so many times
yeah,
we'll be places and people will be like, I don't know what to do, and it's like, okay, just read the error out loud.
yeah,
What's the line number? It says, okay, let's look at that line number.
yeah.
The line in character, literally, it tells you exactly where you need to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. I have a funny story about this that happened actually this week. I was working with Chris, our friend Chris Graves, and we're building this app called Precursor, right? And basically, it's an AI assistant to build structured documents for Cursor. So like you can just drop them into Cursor and build like full apps. And Chris built these AI agents in his ChatGPT to assist with you know the instruction. It had all the system prompts and everything in it. And we're like debugging. I'm like, dude, I'm doing the chat, but I keep getting this error. Like I don't know what it is. Like it won't work. Like and he's like, huh, you have the API key, everything's good. And uh we're just trying to debug over and over, but we're not actually reading the errors. Like we're just like guessing like what was
Yeah.
wrong. And then I was like, let's just like because there were errors in the logs, and I was like, let's just read these errors. And so the issue was they were like it was bubbling up like 10 errors, but I had to scroll like all the way to the top to see the first error, and it was like basically an OpenAI error that was like this assistant doesn't exist. And the issue was I was using my own API key for OpenAI and not his,
Uh,
so I didn't have the agents. And I was like, we literally spent like an hour trying to debug this, and he was like, I feel so dumb, like, and I was like,
dude, you
dude, this
always
is
feel that
part
way
of,
with that.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, this is just how it is. It doesn't
You
matter
know,
how skilled of a developer you are. It's just those errors happen, and when you don't read the errors and you don't debug properly, you end up going in circles.
I would say reading errors is essential. I would also add to that too, just adding in console logs. Like when you do hit
Yes.
problems, add in careful console logs to track what's actually happening, because then you can see where it's breaking if the error is not clear. Usually the errors that are now are so clear there's not even
Yeah.
really a need to do that, but like there are cases where that can be helpful.
Yeah, and also AI is really good at reading and debugging, but it's really good for you to understand that on your own because a lot of times AI will make overly complex fixes for something that's pretty simple. Um, so if you can understand like where the error is coming from, and also it's like things like that, the one I just explained, AI is not going to help because it doesn't understand that API. It's like the API key's there, it just doesn't get that it's the wrong API key.
Yeah. That's another one I would add too with using when you're using AI is, learning how to prompt carefully so that you get what you want to. It does feel like cheating because like just like a
Yeah.
quick example, like, if you just give it a prompt, a lot of times it'll do it'll interpret what you're saying and then do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff that maybe you don't need or want right now. So being explicit, like saying like, like I was working in Next.js this week and I explicitly said in my prompt, like make a component that does X. Because I know if I didn't say that, it would have injected all of it right onto the page, right?
Yes.
And that main thing. And that gets
I've had that
just
happen a
ridiculous
lot.
and overloaded. Yeah, we have like
Mm-hmm.
a 20,000 line
I'm
page
like,
JS or
can you
whatever.
split this 10,000 line file into like 6 components, please?
Yeah. Yeah, but if you ask it initially to do that, you'll get what you want right away. And then you don't have to do a bunch of as much refactoring later.
Yeah. David Campbell said that sounds nice, and I think he's talking about Precursor. If you're interested, it's not public yet, but if you want to, you can go to precursor.tools and sign up for early access if you want to be one of the beta testers for that. So, yeah, you guys have any other ones that I'd love to hear some cybersecurity ones if you got them.
Yeah, so I got some.
Yeah,
So first thing is if you're really looking to learn cybersecurity, it's a huge field,
yeah,
but I've done a whole bunch of certifications and everything, and you need to get like the basic CompTIA certifications just so you can know your way around a computer, like A
hmm,
plus, Network plus, Security plus. Those ones are that's like the tip of the iceberg. You're not even dipping your toes in cybersecurity yet, but that's just so you can know the basics. But in terms of other things, Hack the Box has some really, really good certifications because they're not exactly the certifications that are the industry standard. For hacking, the industry standard is the OSCP, which is by Offensive Security, the same people who make Kali Linux.
mm,
Uh, but Hack the Box has really good certifications where you actually learn stuff. Because OSCP, they have their own courses, but they're garbage. Like
mm.
dumpster fire garbage,
Yeah.
absolute like terrible. So Hack the
They're like, we
Box
got
actually,
the monopoly. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're like, you need to take our exam, but our courses are just garbage. Yeah. So Hack the Box has some really good ones. So they have their general one, which would get you to be like a network penetration tester, which is what most people think of when they think of hacker. That's their CPTS exam, and that one's worthwhile because you can probably, I mean, if you work at it, you could probably finish it in 3 to 6 months, all the coursework and take notes while you're doing it, but it'll get
Hmm.
you kind of learning everything. And if you want to learn the web stuff, they have the certified bug bounty hunter one, so you can learn all types of stuff on
You know,
that.
that's a good
Nice.
one too, because I think that applies across the board for coding too, which is like if you really want to learn this fast and it does feel like cheating, just do it. Don't
Yeah.
Mhm.
like nowadays, I don't think it's necessary to spend all this time like doing a bunch of background reading and read. Instead, if you just try and like whether it's doing the hackabox things like actually practical exercises or like using AI to code and then read the code that it's generating or
Mhm.
follow along with what you're doing, you're gonna learn it. And there's really no reason to do all this like theoretical
Yeah.
background stuff because it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one that's sort of related to what you're saying, Danny. Like with the just do it, like the Nike ideology, just do it. Um, but this is one that I see very frequently with new developers and experienced developers is they want to use all these crazy different technologies and like jerry rig them
Same time.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like in most cases, it makes sense for you to just build simple, especially in the beginning. Like, you don't need to make highly scalable apps in the beginning. You need to have a proof of concept. So, use the simplest, like, tech stack you can, and then you can make it super complex from there. Like I see people using
Well, if
like
it does well, you can always do. If it does well after you launch an MVP, you can always rebuild the whole damn thing if you really wanted
yeah,
to,
or you
or
can
add
add
complexity, or
complexity,
yeah,
yeah. But I see people who are like, I want to use like this microservice and this front end, this back end, this like, and they're like, all of a sudden you're connecting all of this complexity together, and when something breaks, it breaks everywhere, and it's really hard to do. So like, for a lot of people, it makes sense. You might pay a little bit more, but like you can just use Next.js and Vercel, and it's all built
yeah.
together already. They've done all the heavy lifting for you. Like the hosting is there, the database is there, the front end, the back end edge functions are there, the logs are there, like everything's there, analytics are there.
Well, that's like the frameworks, right? All these backend
Yeah,
server, like the backend services are incredible now. They offer everything. There's like
yeah,
no reason to go do it manually, all these parts, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I that's one that I think will save a lot of people a lot of time and just get good at like one thing. At the end of the day, your end user doesn't really care what tech stack you're using. They care that it works,
That
and
work.
that's pretty much
Well,
it.
I have another one. This
Yeah.
actually happened to me this last month, which is um, if you don't know something too, or it's something that you're less familiar with, like I was using a combination because I wanted to automate a process. So for the hackathon app, I wanted to automate basically so that I could have something that would a function run that would check if a user trial ended and then change the database so that it would take away their free trial basically, right? And I had
Okay.
a timestamp for when it ends, and then I had a true false for his trial and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go basically in approaching this because there's a couple different methods. And so I just prompted AI. I was like, what are some good methods for this? And one of the suggestions was, create an edge function and then use GitHub Actions
Mhm.
to run it automatically. And I was like, all right, that sounds good. I was like, walk me through it and then walk me through how to test it. And it walked through everything,
That's
built it
awesome.
out, and then walked me through how to run manual tests. Worked great. It was incredible. I was
Yeah.
like, and so you can use this stuff to like do things that, you would otherwise require multiple people who are
Yeah.
skilled in these things. You don't need them. I mean, you can do it all on your own now if you just,
Yeah. And you could
yeah.
use AI to be your teacher too while you're
Yeah.
building. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's an implementation I haven't done often. So it was like I learned a lot doing that too, which was awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious if any of you guys who are watching have tips as well. If you do, drop them in the comments because we'd love to share them on here with everyone else. I have another one that I think is pretty helpful for developers, and that is to take a break when you need it. And that could be yeah, I know. It sounds crazy.
No, you gotta grind and keep grinding
Yeah,
and never
but
Mm.
stop.
but too frequently we get stuck in a problem with coding, and then we just don't want to get up from the computer. We're like, I'm just going to sit here until I fix it.
Yeah,
And
worst time to stay too.
yeah, and a lot of
For real.
times that's like like you said, it's the worst time to stay because you get sort of stuck in one mental loop and you can't find a solution for it. So it helps to like take a break and just go walk around or do something else, and even like take longer breaks for like a week and like live life a little bit, like go outside and see nature or you know
Well, that's definitely necessary, especially when you're starting to feel like you're losing your passion for it. That's a good time to take a
yeah,
longer break, especially and like I think to your point too about like those problems that we get stuck in when you're like stuck in that loop. Going away from it, like we talked about this before, that's when your brain does solve those problems.
yeah,
And you'll
yeah.
come usually with better solutions
Mm-hmm.
if you wait.
Dude,
Like
that
that's the
that's
other
happened
good
to me
thing.
so many times, like
Yeah.
walking away, going just like walking in nature, and then all of a sudden the solution just comes to you because your brain is kind of working on it in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other ones you guys got?
Oh, we should just call it.
Oh, I got more. So I got two more, really.
Go for it.
One of them is learn the console. Um,
No, yeah.
and if you're working in React or Next, learn the React developer tools. Those two things are super helpful. You may not realize, but like the console has, or like the page inspector for some of you, has so much information about your page and what's going on in the background with like network calls and analytics and load times and all this extra information that can really help you understand how your app is actually functioning.
Dude,
And
developer tools are like essential, like
yeah, and
so important.
it's funny. Like I was looking at like when you understand that stuff, it's kind of funny. Like the things you can start to see how people build websites and sometimes how amateur they are. There was like something I was looking at the other day where it was like the pricing for something was like blurred unless you were like a member. And I just went into the dev console and like turned off the blur and it just
Yeah.
showed the pricing. Like it was like, I was like, okay, I guess they didn't think this one through. But for most people,
Well,
they'd
too,
never be able to do that.
no, and if you use dev tools, too, like the other cool thing is like if you use like Lighthouse and run it on a project you're doing in development, it'll if you actually scroll down and look at the information it provides, because it provides a lot, it'll tell you
Yeah.
how to improve your performance, like explicitly. Oh, this image on this page is too whatever, and you can fix a lot of things that'll make it a lot better performance-wise and everything. Oh,
Yeah,
I have another one
exactly.
too. I just thought of,
Go
so
ahead.
don't forget. Screenshots are awesome now because
Mm.
these AI have gotten so good at recognizing images now. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you are learning, you want to learn how to build a component or something, or if you just like
Mm.
the layout of something, taking a screenshot and just feeding that in as well with your prompt is gotten so good now. I mean, it
That's a
just,
good one. Yeah.
yeah, I use that a
Um,
lot.
yeah, that's something else we're building into Precursor. So you can just go to like Behance or Dribble or whatever, take a screenshot of some UI you like, drop it in there, and it'll build a style guide for you, which is kind of sick.
Well, sometimes what I'll do too, if I just want a certain layout, I'll just go on like Canva, take a website and just put boxes,
Yeah.
like how I want to arrange things and just feed it. I'm like, arrange it like that. And yeah,
They're
it's
like,
super nice and
sure.
easy. Takes
Yeah.
2 seconds. Yeah.
Chris Raw said regarding taking a break, he said, or take 2 weeks and go to the other
Yeah.
side of the world. He just traveled to Australia. I'm sure he's super hyped now that he's back in coding, and that is good. Like sometimes I know he left his computer at home, and sometimes that's really good. Like you don't need to code 24/7. I know there's pressure to create those green boxes on GitHub, but uh, you know,
We're pressured all the time to constantly be doing stuff. And it's
yeah.
like, it's not healthy. And then people get, then you lose your passion for things and end up hating something you love, which sucks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, my last one, which is my bonus tip, because I shared five already. My bonus tip is to participate in the local or more, worldwide developer community. This is one that I think is totally invaluable. You're going to meet new people. You're going to share ideas, and especially if
You're gonna
you're,
meet people that like talking about code. I mean, that's the other
yeah,
thing, and these tools and stuff, like, which is hard to find for a lot of people, I imagine, because like if we didn't do our thing, if we didn't originally start meeting on Saturdays, like, you know, your loved ones and stuff, most of them aren't coders. They're not gonna understand
yeah,
like what you're
exactly,
talking about and like,
or care.
why it's important. Yeah, exactly. Which I can't blame them, but like,
Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, you guys have any other ones?
no, it's
No?
good.
All right. Well, with that one, with participating in the developer community, we actually are changing up a little bit of how CodeNoobs works to open it up to even more of you. Now it's going to be completely free. Yes, I said free to join our inner circle starting in August. We will open that up so you can get into our private Telegram group completely for free and join us after this call for free as well for our, you know, virtual coding community where we do a little bit of accountability and then we open it up for you guys to communicate with each other, share ideas, and just get to know other developers out there. So if you are interested in that, I would just be sure that you tune in for the upcoming episodes every Saturday at 9 a.m. We'll be announcing how to join that pretty soon. Um, but yeah, if you guys are inside our inner circle already, we will be meeting today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know where you are. That's about a half hour from now. But thank you all for tuning in again. We love doing this with you guys, sharing
Yeah.
ideas, learning a little bit, and we'll see you next Saturday for another one.
Have a good one.
Peace, guys.
Peace.